on. Julie Fisher is an author, speaker, and a passionate advocate for inclusion whose work has been shaped by her journey as mum to her son, Darcy. Over the past 20 years, Julie has been sharing real, heartfelt stories that have helped build understanding and create a stronger sense of community for families navigating disability. She is the author of several books, including her latest, The Adolescent Journey, which explores the teenage years with honesty, insight, and heart. Julie is also the host of The Unexpected Journey on RPPFM and the founder of the local Disability Expo, bringing people together, connecting communities in meaningful ways. And tonight we'll be talking to her about her newest book, as well as the beautiful work with Celebrate T21 and the fundraising journey she and Darcy are currently on as he prepares to be featured in their 2027 book. So we're going to, let's put her mic up.
Ready?
It's on. The red button's on. It's on.
All right.
Of course it's on. She knows how to do this right.
I do, but I'm not very often the interviewed. I'm normally the interviewer.
Yes, I know. And we have interviewed you a few times here on the KK Factor. Yeah. But, we've always got new people that join us live, and I wanted to re-interview you. But it's for other reasons as well. And one of the most important reasons for me, like nonstop this last 12 months, of my life here at RPPFM, I've lost count on how many awards, how many nominations you have been given and have been awarded. The book releases, the beautiful stories with Darcy. And one other unbelievable thing is I couldn't believe, even though how sick I am, and on my actual birthday, we went out to a restaurant, but we were outside in this designated area, and and I was surrounded by a couple more people who also had the same thing as me because their family passed it on to me. And that was a really lovely surprise that they joined us and made it an extra special day, considering I was really struggling, particularly to breathe. And right there in the corner, there was Darcy with his mates. And it was like, Darcy! And they turned around and the smiles on their faces, they were like so happy to see me. It's really beautiful, Julie. Like, absolutely, you've done a remarkable job with Darcy. And I know it's not just you as a mother, it's his embedded DNA, it's his personality. But he's such a happy person, a happy human being, and absolutely adorable. So we're going to touch on, and I know I've already discussed this previously with you, but again, we need to target those, or not target. I would like to reintroduce you to our newest listeners. Yep. So I want to talk a little bit about your personal journey and your inspiration. Mm-hmm. Now, your journey with Darcy has shaped so much of your work. Was there a defining moment when you realised I need to share this story?
I think I've always been one to support other families. So even like going to coffee groups, support groups, we're all there to support each other. And then when Darcy started school, we used to have a coffee group and, there was a lot of support sharing there. And when I wrote the first book, that's when I really felt like I could do more on a bigger scale, because all of a sudden I was getting interest from organisations that wanted us to do campaigns with them. I had people that wanted to talk to me. I had lots of interviews here at RPPFM, all in those early days. That was 7 years ago. So that's when I really saw that what I had and what I could do could make a really big impact. And even if it's just to help one family, it's worth every minute of doing it, posting on social media, sharing our stories. I mean, that's so all people need.
It is so true. Yeah. Is her unbelievable book.
That's the new one?
The new one, The Adolescent Journey. Julie, let's emphasise Darcy's 20 years old.
He is.
And he's even got a girlfriend, so sorry ladies out there. 20 years. Over the past 20 years, how has your perspective on inclusion evolved, both personally and within this broader community?
Oh, look, I think it's really important, because when you step out in the community with somebody that is a little different, or that people perceive a little different, because for me, we're all different.
And just to stop you there, different to our new listeners, Darcy is Down syndrome.
Yes, he lives with Down syndrome. So he has a visible disability, so people can see that. He also has some, little quirky traits that he does. He makes some noises sometimes. Sometimes he stims. So what stimming is, it's like flapping the hands, or he might have a set of headphones in his hands that he's doing this with, and that's regulating his senses.
Wow.
So that's making him feel comfortable. And the noise that he does that too. So
you know what? Even people without that disability, seriously, Julie, as you were just demonstrating, I'm thinking, hang on, we do that as well.
I do it. I wobble my feet all the time.
Yeah.
And right. It calms me, But when you step out into the community with somebody like Darcy, all of a sudden you notice people staring, or what you think is staring, and it feels judgmental, and it makes you feel like you shouldn't be out in the community with them. And I never want anyone to feel like that. So that's really my big push. My big message is to just be kind and give somebody a smile. If you catch yourself looking at someone, staring at somebody, just think for a moment and then give a smile, because it just changes everything. Everybody deserves to be out in the community living their life. I know families that don't take their children out, and that's not fair, that's not right, because what happens to those kids when they get older and they haven't been out the door for 5 years?
That's right.
What happens to them?
Do you think it's changed over the last 20 years? I know you do a lot of work, and and there's other people out there, but focusing on you and your perception at this point, do you think it's changed?
I think it's getting better. I think as you go along the journey, you learn to not ignore, but you learn to just sort of push past it. And what I also learnt over the last 20 years is that not everybody is staring and not everybody is being judgmental. So sometimes people are just looking our way, but when you're a mum and you've got your child out there, your defences go up, because you think, why are they looking at him? What's wrong with him? What's he doing? Stop it. And you want to protect him, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So as Darcy got older, he started to feel my negativity towards their negativity. And I thought, I don't want him to feel like that. So I started smiling at people, and I surprisingly found that probably 9 out of 10 people will smile back and maybe even say hello.
That is so nice.
Which is great, but you've still got that small percentage, and unfortunately the negative stuff that happens to us stays in the mind.
Unfortunately,
more
yes.
than, well, not more than the positive stuff, but when you recollect, the negative things come forward first.
Well, when I was at the restaurant and Darcy saw me, and the kids just got so excited because they've met me before. I've given them lots of cuddles and kisses before. And it was really exciting for me that they still remembered me and were still happy to see me. And my daughter said to my partner, how do they know my mum? And, George obviously explained how we knew each other. But to me, it was even more extra special. Like people that don't have disabilities that know you. And I'm not trying to upset anyone now or offend anyone, but it's true. I could go somewhere and these people may not have seen me for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the joy that these kids gave me that moment, sometimes we don't get that. People come up, oh, hello, Roula, I haven't seen you for a while. But the joy they gave you, you could feel it. You could sense it. It was not just words or just to be polite.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is the beauty of these children, the love that they have. Obviously, they're going to retaliate if they're mistreated or not spoken nicely to. But otherwise, I believe they're fine to walk around us in the community for everybody to support.
Of course they are. They're people just like us. And the other thing I've found is that a lot of the time people, they just don't know disability. They don't understand it. So sometimes there's a fear factor in that, and that will cause them to look your way in a certain manner. And that's always perceived as judgment, especially when it's about your child. That's how I feel anyway. And that's why that smile, that hello makes such a difference, because you get it back from most people.
Oh, that's so nice.
But we still do. There's still a lot of education that needs to happen out there.
Still a lot of work that you're involved in, Julie. And you work extra hard. As those who follow her, Julie, under her Facebook, Julie Fisher, or her page, The Unexpected Journey. And you can follow her on LinkedIn. You will see why she's been getting all these awards, why she keeps getting nominated, because it is you're worthy of it. And yes, I know you've told me there are so many other people that do the same work, but I'm focusing on you.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, if you can help one person, or if I can focus on one person, to me, you represent a group of other people.
Yeah.
But we're also friends, so it makes a bit of a difference. A bit judgmental here. What has Darcy taught you that no book or no professional experience has taught you? I know I haven't gone through these questions with you, but I know you're good.
That's okay. No, that's all right. I like cold questions because I think the answers, I don't know, it's better when you sort of sit and think for a moment. But I think one of the biggest things that he's taught me is the unconditional acceptance of others. So he will accept everyone for who they are. He might not always like everyone, but if he doesn't like you, he'll just leave you alone. But it doesn't matter if you've got green hair, purple hair, if you've got a limp, if you're in a wheelchair, if you talk differently. It doesn't matter. If he likes you, he accepts you for exactly who you are.
Isn't that beautiful?
And that's the biggest lesson that he's taught me because,
wow.
There's lots of judgment that happens right from when you're young at primary school through high school. And, sometimes you do get caught up in that because it's your friends that are doing it. And with Darcy, we all like to think that we don't care what people think. That's the other thing he's taught me. But we do. I think the older we get, the better we get at not caring. But he's really taught me that as well, to not worry about what people think. So, if we're out shopping or something like that and a good song comes on, and we sing and dance to it. I don't care where we are. We're having fun. And
you can see that on your posts. You can actually see the post you put up or where you go with Darcy. And I think it's great because people can see that and say, wow, my child's got Down syndrome. I can have fun like that too.
Yeah, that's
right.
Let
me reach out to Julie and see how she does it. Julie, your latest book focuses on teenage years, which can be complex for any family. Mm-hmm. What unique challenges and triumphs do you want to highlight?
I think with kids like Darcy, every story is different. I mean, Darcy's very different to his brothers, but then there's some things that he's similar as well. So he does have an interest in girls. He has a little girlfriend.
He does.
He does get moody as well.
Like most guys do. Come on.
It's not a teenager
He's a young
but
man, 20 years old. He's getting into adulthood now. A young man, I say it.
Yeah, and I think there's always challenges when he can't tell us exactly how he's feeling as well. So he is verbal, but he can't really articulate a lot of what he's feeling. So that can be a challenge, and each family needs to deal with that a bit differently. We have therapists that can help us with that. But the big thing is, as our kids grow, with disability, there's always paperwork. There's so much paperwork that you have to do as they go through the different stages of life. So I talk a lot about those sort of things in the book and what you need to have to prepare for their pension, making sure people have got a companion card, which so many families don't know about still, and things like that. And the other thing, I just share our story and, share what we do with Darcy and the joy that he brings us. And even when things are a bit hard and tough, he always puts a smile on our face. He's just an amazing young man.
He does.
He really is.
Was there a chapter or moment in the book that was particularly difficult or emotional for you to write?
I don't think with this book there was. No, I don't think there was. Not emotionally.
Or have you just become resilient along the journey?
Perhaps.
That's what's happened. Okay. What do you hope parents of teenage, especially those navigating disability, can take away from the book, The Adolescent Journey?
I hope that they can take away that they're not alone. Yeah. There's many, many families going through this journey just like them, and there's people that they can reach out to. They don't have to do it alone. There's lots of great resources that they can go to if they're worried about things that are coming up. There's some great organisations that put on wonderful webinars with great information. Yep. My book has a lot of that in there too, has resources in there. But just reach out, have that support around you. Don't do it alone. If your child's doing something that you don't know quite how to handle, again, reach out, contact me or do some research, contact your therapist, your doctor, and just ask them, because sometimes they're just growing, as well, and they're going through different emotions just like we did. So Darcy sort of goes through, maybe when Caleb and Blake were going through things at about 15, Darcy's sort of going through those stages at about 19. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So,
there's
that
delay.
Extra level of testosterone in boys and things like that. So there's a bit of a delay there. I think when he was about 16, I suddenly looked at him and thought, oh, my goodness, I've actually got a teenager here. So I didn't feel like that before that. I still felt like he was a little boy. So I just hope that they get some joy out of the book and get some support from the book and just really embrace the journey. We've got to do that. We can't stay stuck in.
No, and he's living life, as we can see through the journey, through the page. How can communities better support families during this stage of life?
I think just ask them if they're okay. We're doing that a lot anyway with kindness. If you see somebody that's struggling, ask them if they're okay. If you're a friend of somebody who has a child with a disability, ask them if they're, doing all right. Do they need any help? Can they help them find support? You might not know where to look, but again, there's lots of resources online that you can search up. And, just be there for people. Sometimes people just want to vent and just want to talk about what's going on, and I think that's really important too.
And that's where you fall into place. You're the host of The Unexpected Journey on RPPFM right here in the Peninsula. What conversations have stayed with you long after the microphone was switched off?
Oh, that's tough. We've been on air nearly 4 years, so there's been lots. But look, today's interview was with a friend of mine, and she just said that her son lives with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm grateful for him every day because he brings so much joy and love no matter what is happening in the world, in our house. And that's exactly what Darcy does as well, He might have his little moments where he's got, not happy with me. I nearly swore then. Where he's not happy with
Where's
me.
Where's that beep button?
But at the end of the day, even if we've had a little bit of a tiff, when I put him to bed or when I'm taking him somewhere, that love and that joy is always there.
So that's common. I see that with my own children and their children.
Yeah.
Parents, kids getting frustrated for whatever reason, and then when they get put to bed, hugs and kisses, love you, mummy, love you,
Yeah, and it's beautiful. And I just love the way he enjoys life, truly not worrying about what people think. When we go out, if we go to a concert or a theatre production, he just has the best time. And I always get a tap on the shoulder from people that say, I wish I had the courage to do that. And I say to them, just do it. Do you think,
I'm going to veer off 1 second. Something just came to my mind. And I guess as a mental health champion at work, we sometimes try to look at different ways of why things happen. And I questioned now, is it teaching the child or is it actually teaching the parent? I know you reach out to the parents, but is it teaching them how to be, so how they need to change, which then reflects on the child? Is it us? If you're moody, if you're upset, isn't that going to filter to Darcy?
Oh, it does sometimes, yeah. He definitely feels it when we're not right and he doesn't like it. He'll come up. He can even sense it if you're putting on a brave face.
Wow.
It's quite interesting, actually. Even you. So if we bumped into you at the shops and you weren't quite right, but you were looking at him and you were smiling and putting on a brave face, he would know that you're not right. And
they do say people with disabilities have other abilities. So the word disability to me I define that word as other abilities.
Yeah, yeah. So, look, definitely it's like everybody, if you're not in a good headspace, that can filter down through to him, but he will always come up and be kind and give you a hug and things like that. I want parents, and I think all the parents I've ever met in the disability community call their children their teachers, which is lovely.
We do learn from them,
I just want the wider community to really, just understand that when they are looking at our children, we do perceive it as judgment, even if it's not. Put your shoe on the other foot and just think, well, how would I react if someone was staring hard and fast at my child?
That's a very good quote there. We do need to stop and put our feet in that person's shoe.
Just for a minute and just think, how would I feel? How would I react?
Yeah.
Look, early days, I said some terrible things to people. I told a woman to take a photo of Darcy and take it home so that she could work out what she thought was wrong with him. Wow. And at the end of the day, I went home and told my husband, he said she was probably looking at him because he's cute.
He's cute, actually.
And I go to him, no, she wasn't. But all these years later, maybe she was. And how awful for me to do that to her.
That's how you felt that moment. And you know what? She probably walked away and thought, oh, wow, that lady actually misinterprets what I was actually...
Maybe. She was horrified. She walked off horrified.
So she would have thinking, you know, and I'm pretty sure she would have stepped back and thought, you know, she probably gets this all the time and she didn't realise. But hey, she might be listening in right now. As someone deeply involved in media, how powerful is storytelling in shifting perceptions around disability? And I know we're talking about that right now.
Yeah. It teaches, it raises awareness, it educates, it supports, it helps that person sitting at home feeling alone not feel alone anymore because somebody else is going through a similar journey. The biggest thing is the education. Like it teaches people at the end of the day, and it teaches people that, you know, Darcy's just, yes, he's got a disability, you know, yes, he's verbal, but sometimes he's hard to understand. He has slower learning skills, but at the end of the day, he's a person.
That's right.
Just like everybody else.
That's exactly right.
You know, he wants to be treated well. He wants to be respected. He wants to have fun. He wants to live life well, just like everybody else does, you know. I think that's the biggest lesson, is that they're people. Yes, they have a disability. Some you can see, some you cannot.
That's right.
Invisible disabilities is very difficult as well.
It is very difficult. Living with us, to have an invisible disability, like most of my listeners know that, you know, I struggle with rheumatoid arthritis. You can't see it.
Yeah.
And then the days when I'm not limping, so you think, oh, she's fine. But then there's days when people that do know me are limping, and then they know, oh, she's struggling. But they don't know that I have to live with this. It's not something that I've just hurt my knee and tomorrow it's going to, you know, come better again.
Yeah.
And they're the things that, people need to be a bit more understanding.
Yeah. And just know that we're all people.
That's exactly.
We're all people. We're all different. And with hidden disabilities, it's called Hidden Disabilities, and it's a sunflower lanyard that you can wear when you go out in the community, when you're travelling, so that people around you know that there is something going on and that you might need some support. They are fantastic.
Wow. So do you wear them, like if you go out with Darcy somewhere, would you put that on?
No, because he has a visible disability.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. So people can
I missed
see.
that one. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
I did
that's
miss that
all
one.
good. That's all
Have
good.
you seen a noticeable change in how inclusion is represented in the media over the years?
Yes and no.
You've made a big difference.
Yeah.
You have made a big difference.
There's lots of amazing people doing some incredible things on social media to raise awareness, to have a bit of fun. You know, there's some guys out there called the Brother Boys. If you don't follow them. They're very funny. So Bill lives with Down syndrome and Kyron is his brother-in-law. So they're doing some really cool stuff online. But there's some great, on Instagram especially, there's some great pages where you can follow and you can see people with Down syndrome creating successful businesses, all sorts of things.
Isn't that right? Yeah, because I think what they're doing now, they're tuning into the other abilities. Mm-hmm. It's like autism. You know, back in the days, autism is like, oh my goodness, my child's got autism. That is, his life's over. Now, autism and the skill set that people that are autistic have is sought after, particularly in the scientific world. Yeah, the way they think, the way their brain works, you know, and it's inspiring to see, particularly here in Australia. And I'm not saying that this doesn't happen overseas. It's just because my focal point is in Australia. And I haven't actually sat down to talk to you about, you know, the broader countries away from us if this happens, but we are very lucky here. Oh, because we do
100%.
Yeah, we do look at the skill set that everyone's got regardless of what their disability is.
Yeah, and everybody can do something, you know.
That's right.
And there's so many great programs and that available now to people like Darcy that he can do. Like, he might not be able to create his own business, but he might be able to do a program where he's learning skills and things like that. So there's lots of wonderful things out there for everybody to do.
Well, look, Darcy's in theatre productions, and I've seen a production with, how many children were there that time?
Oh, there's so many.
When the one that I went to.
In BAM.
Yeah, in BAM. There were so many. They had different disabilities.
Yes.
They're all young, and yet they did a huge production that we actually enjoyed.
Yes.
You know, some people think, well, how can these kids do that? But they actually can. Mm-hmm. And I've also seen it with one of our listeners, Alex from Fusion Theatre. You know, you go to the adult theatre productions and there's people there with different disabilities. And yet when they come together, the way the brain works, and they create this amazing storytelling, and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
then you've got a production where everyone hasn't got a disability, so to speak, and you might walk away going, well, it was a bit boring. You know, and I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to prep and promote people with a disability. I'm actually being honest, and the only way you're going to understand where I'm coming from, is to actually go.
Yeah.
But you do need to focus, and focus on the storyline and watch how they show the storyline rather than focusing on the disability or asking the question, I wonder if they're going to do this correctly or not,
Yeah.
Focus on the storyline and you'll walk away really inspired. It's just amazing. What inspired you to create the local Disability Expo, and what impact has it had on families and services, particularly around here in Frankston area?
Yeah, so I've wanted to do that for probably about 15 years, and this year will be my 4th.
Wow.
So it took a long time for me to get the courage and the support to do it. But the reason why I wanted to bring something local, and there's lots more popping up now, which is so wonderful, is because I wanted the community to be able to come into an event and talk to the providers that can support them in their community. So not go to an event where they find a service that looks really interesting, but they service the other side of town. They can't come here.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was the main reason why I wanted to do it, so that families could engage with the service providers that can help them. And the other reason was because a lot of families can't travel into the city for the big events that happen in there. They, for whatever reason, they might not have a vehicle. They might struggle in crowds or like traveling and things like that. So I wanted to bring something close so that it's not far away for them to be able to enjoy.
And we do have the areas here. We've even got the Arts Centre in Frankston.
Yeah.
Like we're a city within a city here. Yeah. So we've got the space.
Yeah.
Can you share a moment from the expo that truly touched your heart?
Oh, I think I'm very proud of it. And I think one of the things I love the most is just standing back and watching the families connect with the providers and just seeing the smiles on their faces, and then hearing afterwards, thank you so much for doing that. We met these guys that day and they're doing a great service for us now. They're helping with our child.
You need to be a sought-after speaker now. People should be paying you to speak and to inspire people and to teach people about being resilient. If anyone knows how to be resilient, it's you, Julie, in every sense of the word, and to be strong. Like, you've got businesses that have speakers, but sometimes you don't have to have a speaker that talks about businesses or hobbies and things. You can have someone that's living a journey like yourself.
Yeah.
So people can look at you and go, wow, she's done it. She's resilient. She's put up with so much, and we can put all those measures in place for ourselves to become resilient and have the strength that you have, and the communication skills.
Yeah, and it's not easy. Like, I definitely have moments where I, need to rock in a corner as well, or where I'm a bit down for a day, and you need to go with the flow with that. You need to go with the emotions. But I also just wanted to say to you, with the expo, the other thing that really lights me up is watching Darcy's dance group open the event every year and watching how everybody loves the energy that they bring to the day. I think it's the perfect way to start the expo. It really gets it in a nice, happy vibe.
I know. I wanted to go to the expo. Every time your expo's on, there's an event that I've been invited to, but I might have to say no to one day to come to. I definitely want to come. Let's touch on Celebrate T21 and the fundraising journey. You and Darcy are part of the Celebrate T21 2027 book.
Yes.
What does this opportunity mean to both of you? Now, I know that Darcy's going to go in the book. I've seen the photo shoot that you brought to me to have a look at. I was so blown away, and my mum had the opportunity to also see those photos. And there were those beautiful photos of Darcy in a suit where he's actually a more serious model.
Yes. Oh, my God, I love those photos.
Wow.
Amazing.
Like, wow.
The amazing Stephanie Rodden, who I think she's watching all the way from Wollongong. So.
Hello to Stephanie. Big shout out to Stephanie in Wollongong.
Yes. So I'm going to look at my phone because I want to make sure that I tell everybody all of the correct information about Celebrate T21 and the amazing organisation that Stephanie's created.
Great.
Before I do that, trisomy, so T21 stands for trisomy 21, which is the most common form of Down syndrome caused by having an extra copy of chromosome 21 in the cells. So there's 3 copies instead of 2.
Wow.
And it's a genetic condition, okay? And approximately 1 in 700 to 800 live births this happens to. So that's one thing.
Can they detect that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I did get a prenatal diagnosis 21 years ago, but they do different testing nowadays. All right, so I'm just going to let you know what Celebrate T21 is. They're a social enterprise based in the Illawarra, which is in Wollongong, New South Wales, and they operate as a community service nationally. Through their network around Australia, they bring together families within the Down syndrome community, sharing their stories and providing inspiration. They connect families with organisations including Down Syndrome Australia, T21 Mum Network Australia, and 321 Pregnancy Care. And they and all of us dream of a world where no family should feel isolated, unsupported, or pressured to terminate based on a diagnosis of Down syndrome. So why they put that there is because when you get a diagnosis of Down syndrome, generally it's very negative and termination is recommended. With our story, it was talked about for probably 5 appointments with the doctors after the diagnosis was given. So it's pretty tough. It's pretty awful. And Stephanie actually went through a similar journey with her son, and she wanted to create something beautiful for people and families to see, so that they could see the real families and the real stories and see how beautiful it is. And, this is the last book here. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yep, that's the last book there. Darcy's back cover there as well. It's just sensational. It's the most beautiful book you'll ever see in your life. So Celebrate T21 also distributes gift packs to families with a diagnosis of Down syndrome. So far, they've distributed over 8,500 books and more than $500,000 worth of gift packs, ensuring that families are met with celebration, connection and support from the very beginning. And it really does make a difference. These gift packs that they provide are free. So if you, Roula, heard somebody saying that they've just received a diagnosis of Down syndrome for their child, you can hop on the Celebrate T21 website and order a gift pack for free.
Isn't that amazing?
And Stephanie puts it all together, ships it, puts the families in contact with support as well.
So, and we will share that. I will share that on the platform, the social platforms after the show.
Yep.
Including which we will talk to shortly about the fundraiser too.
Yep, beautiful. So the book is developed and launched every 2 years. So next year in March, this new book is going to be launched, and I can't wait. We always head up to Wollongong for that. And we do, Stephanie relies on selling merchandise and fundraising from us ambassadors, or Darcy's an ambassador. Let me just tell you that they are a social enterprise and not a registered charity. So sponsorship contributions are not tax deductible. But for businesses or individuals considering larger contributions, there may be opportunities. Where is it? Sorry, I've got it. I just don't want to get it wrong.
That's okay. That's okay, Julie.
There may be opportunities for business sponsorship and advertising within the book, including features and brand placement. So there's some other opportunities there for people that want to help on a bigger scale. And you can email Celebrate T21 to find out more information about that. So each person like Darcy who's going to be featured in the book does their own fundraising. If we reach $700, we get featured in the gallery exhibition. So we get a beautiful framed print of Darcy, and then we get the framed print of his page inside the book. So that's what we're aiming for. If we go further than that, there's other opportunities. So the top 21 fundraisers, they get their picture on the back cover. The top 3 get on the front cover.
Amazing.
And there's all sorts of other wonderful things for Darcy to enjoy if he is a top fundraiser. So it's such a beautiful organisation that she's created. I'm really proud to collaborate with her. One of my books, or my books, have all been in the gift packs as well. And From the Hearts of Mums is in the ones that she distributes now. So that's also another resource. It's full of 13 stories from families, including Stephanie.
So I can tell you, I'm going to interrupt you now. I believe Stephanie is listening in.
Hi,
Celebrate T21. on our chat, on the live chat. I
Yes.
have shared that on our screen. So when we screenshot this interview and it goes on YouTube and shared across the thing, you'll be able to read them all as well, Julie. And Celebrate T21 says Julie is an incredible woman and her and Darcy are amazing ambassadors for Celebrate T21. Thank you for all you do and your wonderful support. Kiss, kiss.
We love what we do. And look, part of the role of being an ambassador is, doing some fun projects with Celebrate T21, and we share those on social media. But one of the other jobs that Darcy gets to do is to deliver the books to allied health, your doctors,
Wow.
schools.
Oh, how good is that?
We deliver them to our local MPs, our councillors, so that more and more families are educated and
getting the support that they need.
That's right. So that's what we do. That's one of his jobs as an ambassador. And last year he got Rockstar Volunteer of the Year. That was pretty cool. But I just love doing it because it makes a real difference. And one of the things I love about giving the book out to people is when they start reading the quotes from the families inside and seeing those beautiful photos, you can see the shift and you can see their hearts swell, and it's just wonderful. We're just normal families.
That's exactly right. Well, Alex can understand all that, and he says we're all humans.
Yep.
His mum's, goes through exactly what you go through. Jenny Cheshire.
Jenny Cheshire.
Cheshire. Sorry, Jenny. Expo's full of providers. Looking forward to this year's. Jenny says also Julie needs a gold medal for everything she does for the community. Jenny, I'm with you there, 100% with you there. And yes, she has been nominated for Mother's Day Mother of the Year. And look, I should be Grandma of the Year. No, there's so many beautiful people out there, a lot of mothers out there. They all deserve it.
Yes.
But right now tonight is about you and all these extra stuff that you do, which a lot of mothers are out there doing it too. But again, I'm not saying only you, Julie, but we're focusing on you, and you really do deserve that. As so many other mothers, you do deserve that. So Jenny says, wow, and everything you're saying. Well done, Julie. She says, Alex, good on you, Darcy. Tony from Sydney says, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And Alex, as you know, he's going to meet Darcy one day.
He is. And we will get to one of your shows. And if it's okay, I'd love to put Darcy's fundraising link in the chat. And if anybody would like to support him with that.
Yes, go for that. Go for it, Julie.
It would be really appreciated. I would love that. And so would he. So it really is special. I think it's very important to just keep sharing stories, raising awareness, because it creates understanding.
Yep. So how can people listen tonight, support or get involved?
With Celebrate T21? Yes, so Darcy has
fundraising,
Yes, so he has a unique link that I will put in the chat before I head off tonight.
Yeah.
But you can hop on the celebratet21.com.au, have a look at all the beautiful families on their website. You can have a look at the merch. The merch is incredible. We have a wonderful lady called Alexis who does the designs, and she has a young man with Down syndrome as well as her son. So, just hop on and have a look and see some of the wonderful things that other people are doing to help.
Help. Julie, looking back, what would you say to the Julie who was just beginning this journey?
I would say don't get upset with others, even though sometimes it's really hard. Just understand that they don't understand yet, and they're going to.
And is that the same advice you'd give to parents who may be feeling overwhelmed or uncertain right now?
Yeah, probably, definitely. And I would say to parents who are struggling with diagnosis or, just feeling alone, reach out for support. I'm here. I'd love to have a coffee with anybody and just give them that guidance and support and tell them that it's going to be okay.
And it will be okay.
I mean, I still worry. You worry with all your kids, but with Darcy, when he was little, I thought, I wonder what teenage years are going to be like. I'm really worried about that. Now he's an adult. It's like, oh, my goodness, like what's going to happen? What happens if he wants to travel on a train by himself? Or what happens when he wants to move out of home? And so there's always because all of those things need a lot of planning,
But hang on, even our kids, when they take those first steps, we still fear that.
Yeah. 100%.
We still wonder, but our worries may be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We still have that initial worry.
Yep.
but we worry about other things that could go wrong.
Yes, we do. Yeah. And with Darcy, if he sort of says, all right, I want to move out of home, which he hasn't said yet. Thank you, Darcy. Don't do it yet. I'm not ready. But when he does decide to do that, there's a real process that goes into that. So he has to learn all the skills about living on his own. He watches me do a lot of those things at home, but he has to learn.
Does he help with cooking?
Oh, he only cooks when Jane comes and cooks with him.
Is this his girlfriend?
No, that's his cooking teacher.
No.
But if I say to him, Das, or I don't do a lot of cooking at home myself at the moment.
You're too busy to cook.
So I've got my gorgeous Caleb at home now, and he's doing a lot of cooking, and my husband does the cooking too. But if I say to Darcy, come into the kitchen and help me cook, he goes, nah, it's okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Because he wants Jane.
Jane, yeah. If there's one message you'd love everyone to carry with them after tonight, what would that be?
I say this at the end of my radio show every week. I just say be safe and always be kind to others, because it goes a really, really long way. You don't know what people are going through. So just, be kind, don't be mean, and reach out for support. So families out there, you don't have to do it alone. There's lots of wonderful people wanting to help and support you.
Especially Julie.
And Stephanie.
And Stephanie.
But there's lots of other people as well. So, and Steph is great. She puts the families in touch with support groups near to them, because, our Celebrate T21 family is nationwide. It's not just amazing? In the Illawarra. It's not just in Victoria. It's nationwide. And, she puts them in support. There's some, Down Syndrome Vic, Down Syndrome Australia. They're the ones that are great for us straight away. As soon as I got the diagnosis, I rang Down Syndrome Victoria, and they sent me out resources and support materials straight away. So don't suffer in silence. You don't have to go through it alone.
You don't have to be
Get the support, get like-minded people around you for sure.
Thank you so much, Julie. Now, Julie, Mother's Day is coming up.
It is.
And I know it's going to be beautiful in your home as well. If Darcy could describe you in one sentence, what do you think he would say?
He calls me crazy.
I love it.
He does. He calls me crazy. He goes, and if I'm doing something silly, because I am a bit crazy, I'm a bit silly, like I'll just start dancing or singing around the house and doing whatever, to make me feel good. And he'll go, Dad, Mum's crazy.
I love it.
So that's how he describes me.
Well, Alex just said, well done and congratulations on your book and your work. And I know everyone's sending their love and support.
Thank you. And I would like to say, with that copy of the Adolescent Journey there, if you wanted to put everybody's name onto a wheel and spin it, or names into a hat, I would love you to give a copy to one of the listeners tonight.
Oh, thank you, Julie. We will do that.
That's all right.
Whoever wants
and I will put Darcy's fundraising link in the chat. And
yes, please do that. And I'll be sharing it on the social platforms as well. And please, anyone that would like an opportunity to have in possession the Adolescent Journey book, please private message me, put it in the live chat, message me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. There's no excuse.
No.
I'm everywhere.
And then you can get the copy to them. So good luck,
we'll
everyone.
Do that. And if you're lucky, we might even get Darcy to drop it off.
Maybe, if you're not too far away.
Exactly.
Not Sydney.
Not Sydney. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you for having me, Roula.
And the books are amazing.
Wonderful to be in the studio with you again, and I'm not going to go straight away. So,
well, I know we're going to do a dance. So, on that note, we're going to go on to Nico Verdi's song "Min Aries," and we'll get her off the camera.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.